Okay, this time I'm looking at doing a simple animatic based off these 3 storyboards, and I want to follow this sequence. I'm not going to worry about the dialogue or any of that sort of stuff, but basically just provide the framing to check the timing and that sort of stuff with regards to the animation. So getting started. First up, I've set up an ActionScript 3 document. I've loaded in, well, the storyboard plus the 3 frames of my animation. So first up, I'm going to drop in this frame here and resize it appropriately. So locking it to the corner, I'm going to use the radio button in the corner, and I'm using the free transform tool. Now while doing this, I'm going to drag this out so it occupies the entire shot, and use the arrow keys just to reposition it to get it where I want. Now I'm going to keep this in position for a while, so I'm just going to keep that as a frame and add a second layer because I'm going to add in a special effect on this one. So just a few frames in from the end, I'm actually going to insert a blank keyframe, and I do want this one to go on, and I can drag this, and usually you can, get a little icon, drag it out so it goes a little further. Perfect. Alright, so grabbing frame 2, I'm going to drop that on board, and again do the same sort of positioning trick to get it where I need it. Perfect. Now, I'm going to actually turn this into a motion tween. What I'm going to do is an alpha transition. So, starting here, looking at the properties of this layer, I should be able to go to here. It's actually, yep. And I'm going to lock in everything, and also lock everything at the start. Now, normally when you select the object, yes, you have properties. Down the bottom here, I'm going to do an alpha transition. So it should be under color. And we have brightness control. No, it is not. Get rid of that one. I should have checked this beforehand, but it should be in here. So here I'm controlling this transition, and I need to basically get it to start see-through and then come up to be full color. Well, not color, but full thing. It's one of the color effects actually, so I can control the alpha layer. Start it at 0, go to here, click on it again, and then push it to 100%. And that should insert that. You can see that just coming up there. And that's an example of an alpha transition. This whole area, you can also change brightness, tint, and there's other advanced functions, which yep, that looks like everything. So very useful to know for this sort of stuff. The next one I'm going to do is just a straight up hard transition. So I'm going to insert a blank keyframe and grab the third part of my storyboard. Because the interesting part for this one, if I zoom out a little bit, is I need to resize this. However, whoops, I need it to resize around that cross point there. So I'm just going to move this up to the corner and then pull back a bit, resize, holding down the shift key to keep the aspect ratio good. That's perfect, and then I'm going to run it out to be a couple of frames in length and convert that to a motion tween. Okay. It automatically converts it to a symbol for me. Going to put that radio button back where I need it and control that transition. So the first frame is here in position, perfect. The last frame, I need to resize this around that thing. So I'm just going to bring that in a little bit, bring that into there, and then, whoops, Z, need the corner, so Shift Alt to resize so it matches. So the end result of this is, when we start this frame, we've zoomed out, and then we slowly pull back. So it's a zoom out to get that sort of transition happening. So here we have a fade in, hard cut to a zoom out. Now there is another scene option that you can do, and it's just simply a motion tween, either horizontally for what they call a pan, or vertically for a vertical transition. I'd want to call it a tilt, but it's not a tilt because the background doesn't change and that sort of stuff, but you could use it in that sort of fashion. And that is that for an animatic.